Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom reviews. You see my title below, this is on episode 5 of Alderamin on the Sky, and I really enjoyed this episode. I was saying in the last ones that, I wanted more characterization, more character development for the other characters. I am loving Ita more and more, but I want to, get to know the other characters more as well, and get to, not just have the show being just, only liking Ita, and then you have like a bunch of side characters. Yutori is obviously a big character in this, and I want to learn more about her. And guess what? I did. We get to see a flashback episode. Before the flashback happens, obviously, we see a moment where she's talking about how, a knight and her blade. A knight is her blade. The blade is her knight. The knight, and she can see why there's no person in that sentence and everything. To which, of course, her little, I forget what they're called. Like they need to describe and give us more info on those little things as well, because you don't really know much about them at all, pretty much, except that everyone seems to have them, and there's different elements for each of them. So pretty much, that one is a fire one, and it was like asking, "Oh, do you think I'm a flame?" And but Yutori says, "No, that's not what I think. You're blah blah blah, whatever the name was." And he's like, "Oh, well, I don't think you're a blade." It was honestly pretty sweet and cute to see that kind of stuff. But you can obviously see that what happened in the last episode has affected Yutori. It is something that she is, it looks like she was probably scared of before, seeing that kind of thing. Like when that moment happens, she just turns like literally into killing mode and she cannot get out. But of course, you saw how fast that Ita was able to get her out of that, and that's her reasoning, obviously, as long as he is with her, that she will never fully become just the blade, So, sorry, my throat's kind of messed up right now. But yeah, so pretty much we get to see a flashback. We get to see how, Yutori's father pretty much instilled, like, how he pretty much taught her everything, and how she's pretty much just, like, fully militarized kind of thing. And you see the difference with Ita's dad, which is pretty laid back. And we get to see the doctor. We get to see the air balloon that we did see before. We get to see, some food. I love the explanation on what science is. Pretty much, science is what, is normally explained by something that, people would say in theology, God, created that, God did that. But instead, it's another way to say that instead it was science. And they showed it by like, a whole bunch of things. And it's pretty interesting to see that that whole group were pretty much scientists, and it was interesting to learn that kind of stuff, learn where Ita learned all this, where he, all that kind of stuff he learned from, and see more of his backstory, as well as Yutori going there. Before, she pretty much was just, stiff as a brick, as Ita would say, and instead, after this whole event, everything that happened, she's still, her normal self. Even you see her nowadays, but she has lightened up, and she is more, not so strict and stiff as a brick as she was before. But it was just nice to see how they grown together, how close they are, how pretty much they're like together. They can do anything. That moment when they're inside the box from hiding from the wolves before they came up with that plan, it was pretty nice seeing that. At first Yutori was like full on, like, if one of us can get away, then I'll let you get away, kind of thing. And then he pretty much tells her, all that. And it was really nice to see, It was also nice to see Ita's mom, who is beautiful, honestly. Is she dead? I forget if they mentioned that or not. I just know that after the father was in prison, they disappeared. Obviously, we know the doctor went to the enemy side, and that's why they have air balloons and stuff like that. But did they ever mention what happened to the mom? I'm guessing she passed away or something like that. But I can't wait to, hopefully we learn more about that as well. Like, I like the past and learning more about, fully, I want to learn more about what happened to Ita's dad and his family and the scientists and all that kind of stuff as well, because like did the emperor just not like science, kind of thing? It would make sense, to be honest, that a lot of those kind of, in those times with kingdoms and emperors and kings and stuff, they don't like, a lot of them are fueled by religion and all that kind of stuff, so they wouldn't like science. So I could see the emperor making it so he gets imprisoned and then killing off the other people as well, or something along those lines would be pretty interesting. But it was just nice to see that at the end, Ita does end up, after they disappeared, Yutori never seen him again, and he comes back to her to take her away from these, as he said, the land without a future. It's really nice to see the connection between them. Like, it's almost sibling like in a way when you see how they were when they're younger. Like, I could definitely see a potential romance, but like at the moment you see definitely like a sibling best friend kind of thing. But those things could always evolve into more. Not saying incest kind of stuff. I mean, like, obviously they're not blood related siblings in a way, so I could definitely see them becoming more than that because they're really close. And pretty much, like Ita said, he needs her and she needs him. So I love just seeing the connection, seeing more of Yutori's past, seeing more of Ita's past, and seeing more of how they got this close together, and how pretty much she feels safe with him and he feels safe with her. It just really honestly made a great characterization episode. I really enjoyed this flashback. The wolves part was pretty badass. Those are smart ass wolves. Like, literally, I was like, damn, these guys making like plans and stuff. Like, dang, like, go over here, we'll go over here. And then it was cool to see Ita, them, and all their traps and their plans, burning the thing down. I honestly wanted to see when they were sitting down, eating the jerky, which makes sense. Like, I saw when they said, feels like I'm eating the wolf. I totally got that. I was like, man, it's kind of like, are they eating the wolf at first? I thought that's what they were doing at first. But I wanted to see the expressions when the other people came back and like, what happened? Why is the house burned down? Kind of thing. That would have been completely hilarious, but it was more of a serious kind of episode thing going on there. So overall, I honestly enjoyed the episode. Had good action, good characterization, development in this for Yutori and Ita, and seeing everything that happened with his parents and the doctor and all that kind of stuff. It was really nice. Usually, a lot of times, a lot of people don't really care too much for these episodes, and sometimes I get a little bored out by informational episodes, but honestly they did a good job on doing this flashback. It did a really good job. I really enjoyed all of the things, learning about both of them, and of course they gave us some cool action with the wolf fighting, not fighting normal humans, not Ita going full on strategic mind kind of stuff, but it was still cool to see the dynamic between those two even when they were younger, and I can't wait to see more of them in the future. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. Overall, really good episode, really good, flashback, informational, characterization, development episode. Can't wait to see what's gonna happen in the next one. Light novel fans, I've read in the, in the forums that a lot of people were surprised that they did this flashback and they still haven't had an end to the first, the first volume. So I'm not too sure. They said that the next one is going to be volume 2 starting already, so I'm not too sure if everything's going to be rushed or anything. But yeah, feel free to comment below how you felt about this. How do you feel that this so far has been adapted? Did you like this episode like I did? Anime watchers, how did you feel about everything so far as well? I always like to see, the contrast of both the anime watchers and the light novel readers, see their different opinions and everything. So yeah, if you guys want to, feel free to comment below on that, both anime watchers and light novel viewers. I'm excited for the next episode, though I did see in the forums that people were saying that volume 2 is going to be rushed. Hopefully not too rushed. I don't like rushed stuff. I mean, pretty sure no one does, but hopefully it still does a good job, because so far I've honestly enjoyed this anime. I've enjoyed Ita, I've enjoyed the strategic stuff going on, I've enjoyed the battle, I've enjoyed all that kind of stuff, and the character development in this episode was really good as well. So yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, and if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. It really does help the channel. And yeah, until next time, guys, see ya.